welcome back to my channel. You're tuned in with Life as Rick, and today we're going to be working on my Raven cosplay accessories. And right now I'm just showing you guys what I have. The first thing was curtain grommets, molding clay, and my belt, and that's my paint and paintbrush, of course. So right now I'm going to be trying to figure out how these grommets work. I'll put everything in the descriptions box as far as a link, but I purchased a majority of my items from Amazon, and I did go to Hobby Lobby to get the molding clay. So this is my first time working with grommets. Yeah, it's a curtain grommet, and I actually watched a few different tutorials or examples of how others did their Raven accessories as far as making the belt, and I saw that they were using the grommets, but they may use a resin of some sort. I saw one person that used googly eyes and just painted them red, but that wasn't really the idea that I wanted, so I chose to go out and purchase some molding clay. And I actually got the air drying clay because I didn't want to have to deal with the baking process or anything. So this was the best route for myself. And there were not enough tutorials out there on how to properly make these. So I thought I would just add mine to the mix, you know. Okay, so for the most part, I would just roll the clay out like dough and smush it down with the grommet to make sure it's in place. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. I just used all of the thingamabobs, the curtain, what are these? Curtain grommets. Yeah, I just used all of those, so they were 16 total, I believe. And I don't need that many, but I figured I'd just go ahead and use it because there's not really anything else I'm going to use it for. So the next step is letting them dry, which are drying a lot faster than I thought they would. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint them red, and I'll set them aside to dry. I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to start with that though. Yay! And this is where I made my first mistake. So I immediately started the painting process after getting the clay inside the grommet. And I feel like this halted the drying process like tremendously, because I had to do 2 separate filming time frames. So I had a couple days in between the drying process with this first video and then the finalized portion. But basically, it took days for this clay to actually dry. And I know it said air drying. I just thought it would be faster, and I still had to repaint over the paint process I had already done. So, moral of the story is, let the grommet and clay dry and let it sit in before going in to paint it. Okay, I had been talking for a good 30 seconds before I realized I didn't press record. But these are the finished results, and I like them. They look pretty good. And I got a few extras over there. But we're gonna start with this. I'm gonna let them dry, and then I'll see about placing them on the actual belt. But they came out pretty well. I'm glad I chose chose the clay, and we'll see how this goes. 10 years later, I finally get around to actually putting these on the belt once they're dry. And yeah, so this chain was giving. I love it. I will say that what you're going to see me doing on video is using the hot glue gun to adhere the gems straight to the belt. And although that worked, I couldn't be too rough with the belt without them trying to detach. So what I found was better was actually using what you're going to see in a moment, the Velcro pieces, to just glue the Velcro end and then another Velcro end to the opposite side of the gem to the belt, which you're gonna see all of that. I'm getting ahead of myself. It'll make sense once we get to that part. Okay. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do 2 right here where the loops meet, and then 1 on each opposite side of my hips. That looks about right. Yeah, and I won't put any in the back. Okay, let's get this going. What? Okay. Okay, so these are the Velcro pieces that I mentioned. And at first I accidentally cut the same sides because you know there has to be like a sticky side and then a fuzzy side. I had accidentally cut both fuzzy sides instead of having the opposite ones so they could attach. So you're going to see me rearrange that in a moment. But essentially I'm going to be doing this to the back of my gloves that I got from Shein. I'll put the links in the description box. And I'm attaching the other half to the gem, but I'll be doing that same process to the belt itself. So gluing the sticky side to the belt and then the opposite side to the gem so that if they are to fall off, I can stick them right back on rather than just the hot glue. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I feel like these portions are self-explanatory, but I don't want to get caught up in that, so I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing. But I'm basically just doing the same process again that I did on the back of my glove and am going to do with the belt to the robe, the cape at the collar area so that I can just Velcro them together. I did see in one of the other tutorials I followed someone using a safety pin to stitch it together, but I didn't really like that idea. First of all, I'm clumsy and I'm gonna poke myself, and second, I don't want to harm the fabric. So what better way? Again, this Velcro was a lifesaver. Like, I'm so glad that I picked this up. what the belt looks like. I'm very satisfied. I think I would have brought this in just a little, like one notch more, but otherwise we're good. Let me back up a little bit. Try not to move the chair. Okay. And the Velcro was the best idea I could have ever had. So I can still reuse the gloves and the cape for something else, because I didn't exactly attach the props to it. So I could just snatch off the little Velcro straps and use it for something else. So I'm glad about that. And yeah. So you guys can let me know how simple or not this was. I'm gonna try and do the best voiceover possible to articulate what I was doing off screen, because I had a lot going on, and I know I see a whole lot. But the clay, I think, was the best route for me. I didn't really want to do like the mold, the resin mold. I went for that. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a 10 out of 10, maybe a 9, but only because the shapes of the little molding, I think got a little tight, and some of them are a little lumpy, but you can't really tell it. It's me. It's nothing to do with the process. It's just I should have made them a little smaller maybe. But I got hella extra thingies, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just make an extra belt, and if you guys want to purchase it, or I'll let y'all know what I do with that. So, thank you so much for watching my DIY tutorial for the Raven accessories. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you finish your cosplay if you're wanting to do one, and gave you some kind of information. I really tried. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my other tutorial and take some pictures